Well, viewers, the top focus today is going to be the issue around Kaveri. On one hand, of course, today there was a Bandh call in Bengaluru. We witnessed multiple protests, but that's not it. Now, there is a CWRC which has once again come out and asked Karnataka to release 3,000 cusecs of water. So what really happens to the people of Bengaluru who depend on Kaveri water for drinking? Are you going to have enough water at the end of this particular season or before the monsoon begins once again? That's the real question. Karnataka's plea for relief in the ongoing Kaveri dispute has met with disappointment once again. The Kaveri Water Regulation Committee has again recommended that Karnataka should continue releasing water to Tamil Nadu. However, in what can be termed as a minor relief, the quantum of water has been reduced now. That's from 5,000 cusecs that was earlier being asked to release. Now it's 3,000 cusecs per day. It will start on the 28th of September. They'll have to continue releasing it till the 15th of October. That's over 15 days, viewers. Now, during the hearing, Karnataka expressed its inability to release any water from its reservoirs due to the low inflows. In contrast, Tamil Nadu urged the committee to ensure that a release of 12,500 cusecs takes place. These developments, of course, have sparked intense protests. City-wide shutdown in Bengaluru that we witnessed. Of course, while many cabs were operational on the streets, the public transport was not severely hit, but the people on the streets were far less than any regular day. Meanwhile, we also saw in the border areas, buses coming in from Tamil Nadu were stopped. People had to get off, take another bus to get into the city. So there was a lot of inconvenience as well. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has also criticized the politicization of the issue, adding to the tense atmosphere surrounding the dispute. He said that political parties who've been attending all-party meet, knowing what the situation is, are hitting the streets at this point in time just to gain political mileage. While we've seen all of this today, let's listen in firstly to some of the reactions that have come in from politicians and also some of the protesters as well.
ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ವಿಫಲ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ರಾಜಕೀಯ. ನಮಗೆ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅಲ್ಲ, ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನರ ಹಿತ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬಲವಾಗಿ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ರಾಜಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ಹೊರತು ಜನರ ಹಿತದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಾಡಿನ ಹಿತದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದಾಗಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ನಾವು ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ರೈಟನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನೆನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ಆದೇಶ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು.
The government of Siddaramaiah, D.K. Shivkumar released water without consulting any party, did not have any all-party consultation, did not consult the farmers, and they released water under the pressure of DMK. As you know, DMK and Congress cannot survive without the DMK in Tamil Nadu, and Congress had succumbed to the pressures of DMK and the IND-UPA coalition. The BJP in Karnataka has made it very clear that we will stand firm on the rights of our farmers, rights of our citizens of Karnataka, and we will not allow any coalition politics or any opportunistic politics to come in the way of the interest of the people of Karnataka.
Well, let's get a perspective from our reporters who've been on the ground and, following all the details very closely. My colleague Neha joins us from Karnataka, Dharani as well from Tamil Nadu. Neha, what's the way forward really? Have we got a reaction from the Chief Minister after the latest orders from the CWRC?
Well, yes, Deepak, you summed it up perfectly. While on one side, we're seeing that this may be seen as a slight respite to the state of Karnataka because we're seeing that there has been a reduction in the quantum that's been recommended to be released to Tamil Nadu. But on the other side, remember that the situation on ground is only getting more tense for the government because we're seeing protests, in fact, intensifying. While there was a Bengaluru Bandh that was called today, which may not have been very effective in terms of inconveniencing people, on Friday, the Karnataka Bandh that's been called for has received a lot more support in terms of, in fact, organizations supporting it and the impact on ground. Now, understandably, of course, you have the Chief Minister there who's also come out and said that the matter should not really be politicized, but Deepak, The real, of course, test of time is in the Supreme Court. When the next hearing comes up, we'll have to wait and see if Karnataka or Tamil Nadu make an appeal there to the court to, in fact, look into the orders of the CWRC.
Right, Neha, thank you for those updates. Dharini, what's the situation in Tamil Nadu? Because we saw protests there as well today. On one hand, while a lot is being spoken about the farmers in Karnataka, about how water continuously is being asked to release here in Tamil Nadu as well, there is a situation as far as farmers, their distress is concerned. Today we saw them have a unique protest as well, holding up mice in their hand, threatening that, or rather demonstrating that that will be their only option to eat if water is not released.
In fact, today in Tiruchi district of Tamil Nadu, farmers performed final rituals to Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, and they told that this is in retaliation to what happened in Karnataka. In Karnataka, we saw that several farmers, they garlanded Chief Minister M.K. Stalin's picture, and final rituals were performed. A similar ritual was performed there also. So in retaliation to what happened in Karnataka and also the Bandh, the farmers here in Tamil Nadu, especially from the district of Tiruchi, they did a similar final ritual to Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. So definitely farmers in both the states, they are protesting, putting forward their respective demands. And as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, the farmers are of the opinion that the 5,000 cusecs of water that has been ordered by the Kaveri Water Management Authority to be released, this will not be enough for the irrigation purposes here. The farmers have already sown the fields and they are not having enough water to pass through the fields, is what they are telling. So they are definitely requesting the central government to intervene at this point, because it is two state governments that are at loggerheads with each other as far as this Kaveri dispute is concerned, and it's been going on for almost 2.5 months now. The farmers, at least from Tamil Nadu, they believe that it is time for the union government, especially the Jal Shakti Ministry, to intervene and make sure this is sorted amicably, as protests are on a continuous rise in both the states.
Right, Dharani and Neha, thank you for joining us. Let's open this up to our panel of guests who are joining us. Dr. Lakshmi Ashwin Gowda from the BJP is with us. Sathya Prakash, political analyst. Also with us, Harish Mohammad Ibrahim. He's also a political analyst. Mr. Rajesh Parekh from the Karnataka Rakshana Vedike also joins us. Let's first take this across to Mr. Parekh. When you did, of course, come out onto the streets today, there was a little bit of confusion yesterday about whether it is going to be a bandh or just a protest. But of course, some of the pro-Kannada organizations, including the Rakshana Vedike, did go on to say that it's only going to be a protest. So is this only going to intensify? Because now, water, as far as the regulatory authority is concerned, right now has ordered that 3,000 cusecs of water is going to be, or Karnataka will rather have to continue to release that amount of water. What do the pro-Kannada organizations really make of this particular recommendation now that has been made?
From morning we are fighting with up the Cauvery Road show. Because of the morning they are arrested and we are going from the Sidramaya house. They are arrested and they are arrested. They are kept to 3 hours to 4 hours in lockdown. Because of from morning we are closing the shops and also we are going everywhere. We are not given any moment of closing the shops. But we are taking a primary responsibility to bandh. We are not taken any action of the bandh, but the Sidramaiah and the DK are taking not taking any care because of our Kaveri. But we are ready to fight everything because of no one drop we can give to water of any Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is our neighbor. They are not our dushman, but we are not releasing water because of we are no water. Kindly, I am telling about our Karnataka Rakshana Vedike. T. Narayan Gowda has told us we are not to do any double body property spawning papers.
But Mr. Parekh, do such bandhs really help? Because today, while we had the metro operational, the buses were operational, the cabs were operational, the restaurants were operational, you had shops and establishments that were open, but there were no takers. So it was almost like the businesses have taken a hit and people have suffered huge losses. So do the bandhs really serve any sort of purpose?
Sir, we are not supporting any bandh calls. Just for we are protesting the stall. We are not happy to give the public problems.
What about on the 29th?
Hello?
What about on the 29th? Because there's another Bandh call for the statewide Bandh.
Yeah, our Karnataka Rashtra Vedike, we are not
Okay, we seem to
supporting
have
any
lost
of
that.
the Bandh because of the Supreme Court order. We are just giving support, that's all. We are not happy to give any close Bandh call for any person. Just only for the, we are supporting our, we need our Cauvery water. We are not ready to give drops of water for any Tamil Nadu or any Tamil Nadu. We are ready to give our blood.
Mr. Vatal Nagaraj today, Mr. Vatal Nagaraj today, who's considered the leader of all the pro-Kannada organizations here in Karnataka, has called for a statewide Bandh on the 29th. That's another day where people are going to suffer losses. Now, while of course the state government says it's doing its bit, the opposition says it's not. The pro-Kannada organizations are calling for a Bandh. How is it going to resolve this particular issue is my question. I'll come back to you once again on that. Let me bring in here Mr. Sathya Prakash. Mr. Sathya Prakash, time and again this question is being asked. And I covered the protest today. Multiple people that I spoke to were echoing one particular issue. They're saying, why aren't the two governments sitting together and discussing this issue? They're alliance partners. Is the state government here in Karnataka giving in to Tamil Nadu because of the alliance? And why, give room for such questions to be time and again raised? Not even once have the two water resources ministers met. Not even once have the two chief ministers wanted to meet. We've been asking this question time and again for the last couple of weeks.
And Deepak, you need to understand one thing. See, in '83 also both the chief ministers met. These interstate river disputes can't be solved by two chief ministers meeting. The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, Mr. Stalin,
Well,
has gone
I
on
do
record
understand,
saying that
Mr. Satyam. Let's not go back to the rhetoric that this is a water dispute. It runs back into decades or even a century. It cannot be discussed over a table. The question is, what purpose does an alliance serve? If you cannot probably go there and discuss, because if Tamil Nadu is still going out there and demanding 12,500 cusecs of water, and Karnataka says that they are not in a position to release even 1,000 cusecs of water, there is a lot of disparity in thought. And can't that be at least amicably resolved through some sense of dialogue?
Courtesy of listening to the answer, isn't it? When you ask the question, you should not answer your own question.
No, I do have the courtesy. I'm only saying let's not go back to the rhetoric. I want a clear-cut answer as to why this deliberation is not possible between the two governments. Because I've heard enough of rhetoric over the last couple of weeks.
I want to answer you that no chief minister is going to sacrifice the interest of his state. Similarly, Siddaramaiah will not sacrifice the interest of his state. Similarly, Stalin also will not sacrifice the interest of his state. This is not between two governments. It is between two states. It is not between two parties. It is not between Congress and DMK to sit down and discuss. It is between Karnataka and it is between Tamil Nadu. And there are management committees, as you said, Cauvery Water Management Committee is there. There are other this thing. And second thing is the center should come in. What is Mr. Modi doing? Karnataka has asked him twice to give so that the MPs.
You want the center to come in, but you don't want. You say that the two chief ministers cannot sit together. This is ironical.
The history proves that whenever two chief ministers sit, there is nothing that has come out. History says that. How will Stalin sacrifice his state's interest? How will Siddaramaiah sacrifice his state's interest? It will not happen. Interstate disputes should be solved by the Prime Minister. Very, very clear. All the 28 MPs in the all-party meeting, we asked the Prime Minister to give us a patient hearing. Twice the Chief Minister asked him to give an interview, but he refused. And the Prime Minister of this country, who has to arbitrate between the problems, between two states, especially interstate river dispute, if he is not ready, how can two Chief Ministers sit down?
Mr. Prakash, when the reason I interrupted you was because of this rhetoric. Because time and again it comes back to saying, well, it's the CWMA which has ordered, the Supreme Court has said we are only following orders. On the other hand, you say that the two chief ministers cannot meet your alliance partners otherwise, but water resources ministers cannot discuss it, but the Prime Minister can intervene. How can the Prime Minister do anything about this particular issue when the CWMA is taking decisions? That argument holds good even in this case.
Prime Minister is head of the country. He heads Karnataka also, he heads Tamil Nadu also. Whenever there is a dispute, he has to intervene inside and talk to both the chief ministers and come to some conclusion. One good thing for Karnataka is one and a half months back they asked us to release 10,000 Cusecs. Now after the effort of Sidramaya ji, DK Shukmar ji, now it has come down to 3,000 Cusecs. Naturally, there will be an outflow of 2.5, 2,500 Cusecs. So you need to understand. Now again, DK Shukmar ji has said that, has gone on record and said that we will again appeal this in the Supreme Court. The Congress government is very clear in it that we are going to again go to the Supreme Court and tell that we are not going to release. Please try to understand. Karnataka is going towards 1 trillion economy, and these sort of funds will not help our cause. It will only bring more hardships to the poor of this state. Instead, all the opposition parties, when the opposition
Okay, Dr. Lakshmi Ashwin Gowda, do you agree with the statement that it's only the Prime Minister now that can probably, end this deadlock and, bring an end to this crisis? Do you agree with that statement of Mr. Prakash?
I really don't agree with this statement because land, language, and water issues are the issues above all the party politics. It is between two states and between the two governments, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka government. It is the high time for Karnataka government, Mr. Siddaramaiah, to leverage his position as his alliance partner and to convince M.K. Stalin about the ground realities about how we are suffering with drinking water crisis when they require water for their 3 crops. We do require Kaveri water for only 1 crop. It is for high time for them to show enough courage of conviction to stand above the party politics and to stand with our Karnataka farmers, Karnataka irrigation, and our standing crops and kharif crops. And now they are seen with enormous inertia, and they're losing their sight just to save INGIA block ahead of the Lok Sabha election, which is being most fragile and haphazard, which doesn't have any people's interest, but only power politics and power interests. And this is highly condemnable. We really don't agree. The Prime Minister, the Honorable PM of India, cannot come here to solve the problems, and he is not expected to come here also. It is the natural, land, language, and the water issues to be solved between the two CMs of the two states. I really don't agree with him.
Okay. I also want to bring in Mr. Ibrahim, but before that, I want to point out a couple of things here. Today at the CWRC, now, while recommendations have been made for 3,000 Cusecs to be released, Tamil Nadu has gone ahead here and said that Karnataka has to reduce its irrigation supply based on the distress proportion. More importantly, they've also said Karnataka has to release shortfall quantity immediately and further inflows as per the distress proportion as well. Now, these sort of arguments that are taking place on Tamil Nadu, the only question that I ask Mr. Ibrahim is, can't governments on either side of the border be apprised of the situation and the reality? So that, at least these sort of arguments, if Karnataka says they don't have water at all to release, that Bengaluru, at the IT capital, will run dry. There may not be water in IT companies. There may not be water, in the taps of people in their homes. This is the argument that's coming in from the state government. On the other, Tamil Nadu, of course, continues to fight for more water than what right now is being released. So somewhere a dialogue between the two governments, wouldn't it help at least in terms of how these arguments are taking place?
No, first of all, asking for two governments to come ahead and discuss is a bullshit argument, because as per the State Water Dispute Act for 1956, the Supreme Court has constituted the both Cauvery Management Tribunal and the Cauvery Management Committee to make sure with an expert panel which comprises with all technicalities in whatever they have to take the stocks. They have already taken the stocks and they have made sure to give a opinion.
But Tamil Nadu isn't happy with this decision. Neither is Karnataka happy with this decision. So where is the harm in discussion?
I have been silent, but you are not even allowing me to start my remarks. Please wait. So once the Supreme Court also uphold after taking the stocks of the Cauvery Management Tribunal, they have the Supreme Court has even given an uphold stating that they can't go ahead and intervene, because now asking both the state of the CM to go ahead and discuss is a bullshit argument at this point of time. even the upper riparian and the lower riparians, as per the distress management proportional, which was constituted by the Supreme Court, has been given, stating that during the distress, you have to follow certain guidelines. And only through that guideline, Tamil Nadu state government is asking for 28,000 cusecs during the distress time. Now it has been reduced to 5,000 cusecs by the Cauvery Management Authority. And at least that should be given by the Karnataka state government. But what is the problem here is, whenever the Cauvery management is going ahead for a review or something, the BJP, whether either they are in power or not, they will take this issue as for political reasons. And they want to bring the people like Vatal Nagarajan to create an emotional blackmail with the state and create an animosity and make sure the people there fall for a distress. More than this, as an emotional issue, we want to make sure to follow the guidelines which has been set up by the Supreme Court after taking the stocks by the expert panel. So you don't need both the CM to come forward and sit. As Mr. Deepak said, whenever both the CMs of the particular states come forward, there is no amicability, there is no amicable consensus have been arrived. That is the reason after 2007, when the Supreme Court asked for them to form a tribunal, by 2016, it was formed. Even at that point of time, BJP is the one who went against the Supreme Court to form ahead for a committee for an amicable consensus, which following taking the stock of the upper Riparian region. And now the standing crop in Tamil Nadu is being going to hit a huge way.
Okay.
Even if the 5,000 cusecs is not being followed by the Supreme Court instructions by the Karnataka state government, it is going to be a contempt of court. And whenever these kind of issues come, whoever the parties whichever in Karnataka, they will make sure to not uphold the Supreme Court ruling or the directions given by the Cauvery Management Water Authority, whether it is a tribunal or by the committee. They always want to make sure to go ahead against the reviews, against the panel's recommendations. I want to make sure to take the stocks, creating without creating a political animosity. Both the state governments should make sure to oblige whatever the Cauvery Management Authority panel which has been giving the recommendation by taking the stocks of both the upper Riparian as well as the lower Riparian. Thank you.
But Mr. Ibrahim, that's precisely why I keep asking, why isn't a dialogue possible when both the governments are not happy with what the CWMA is saying? So at least the arguments that are being put forth in front of the CWMA can at least that can be altered, so that somewhere there is some consensus that both the governments reach. But anyway, you made one particular statement that the likes of Mr. Vatal Nagaraj or pro-Kannada organizations are doing it for their own benefit. I want Mr. Parikh to come in and respond to that.
My question and my answer is only one thing. Let BJP be, let Congress be, let JDS be. My aim is only one. We are Kannadigas, we not leave any Kaveri water for anyone. There is any not political.
But Mr. Parikh, Mr. Ibrahim makes a big charge that Mr. Vatal Nagaraj or the likes of him, that organizations like yours are only, using it for your own benefits. These sort of agitations and protests are being held only for gain.
That I am for past 50 to 20 years, I am seeing Vatal Nagaraj. He is one of the good protest person. But my aim is our Narayan Gowda is told we are not giving any support. We are only coming and giving for people to support, not any band call. But my aim is only one. We are not leaving any water to Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu people are our neighbors. We are not any dushman. We are doing our job. But only one thing, where poor people where to go and drink water. If we not have water, where we must to go? Rich people go and drink Bisleri waters. Where do we go and poor people? Tell me the answer.
Okay, Mr. Parikh. Well, overall, I think we've summed it up at this point in time with both the political analysts talking for the Congress and the DMK say that as far as dialogue between the two states are concerned, it's something that they are not for, and it is not even possible is the hint that's being dropped. The BJP still believes that's possible and that's the way forward. The Congress time and again, of course, has spoken for Mekedatu. They've spoken for the centre's intervention. But one thing, before I come to a close, I want to ask the BJP spokesperson here. Even till now, we've seen a meeting of the Chief Minister, of the Deputy Chief Minister with the MPs. But the MPs mounting pressure for centre's intervention or some sort of help hasn't come, considering the fact that the state of Karnataka, the people have blessed the BJP with probably the most number of seats in the history when it comes to MPs. But the MPs seem to be predominantly silent through this entire phase. And those questions do come up for the BJP as well. And a lot of answering to do on that note.
As I've already told you, these land, language, and water issues cannot be solved through the party politics. We are being both ruling dispensation and the opposition dispensation being the equal stakeholders in this. They should show
it is so ironical
to solve this.
It is so ironical that you say this because you say that party politics cannot resolve it. Once you say that the governments of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu should sit together, but when it comes to BJP being asked the question, you say that it's not party politics that can resolve it.
And ruling dispensation
Dr. Lakshmi, again you're following the same footsteps as the Congress and the DMK in this matter.
Deepak,
when the ball is in your court, you don't want to really take onus.
They are not. Cauvery Water Management Authority and Cauvery Management Regulatory Councils, being the expert councils, the expert panels, they should come to the field and read the realities, practical realities, ground realities. When we are having the water distress, we have received scanty rainfall this year, and Tamil Nadu state will definitely is going to receive northeastern monsoonal rainfall, and we had received deficit monsoonal this time. The deficit was being 23%. When we are on the brink of drinking water crisis, we cannot provide water, we cannot share water for the three crops. When we don't have water for the one kharif crop, when we cannot save our own crop, we cannot jeopardize our farmers' interest. And it is the Congress ruling dispensation to go and convince the MK Stalin and also to convince the Cauvery Water Management Authority to come and see the ground realities.
Okay. But why aren't your MPs, doing that? Why can't the MPs come in handy here? The parliament was in session. They were all in Delhi. They could have met representatives there. They could have built pressure, some sort of protest. But overall, we are looking at only demonstrations here, which again, what the Congress is saying, probably one will have to look into it very keenly, that probably the politics is taking center stage when protests are coming about from the BJP or the JDS. But nonetheless, one thing that I can draw a conclusion through what we've discussed over the last half an hour is that all parties, when the ball is thrown in their court, they don't want to take the onus. They say that it cannot be solved politically. But when you ask individually, they say, why can't the DMK, the Congress sit together? The DMK says, why can't the centre intervene? Or the Congress says, why can't the centre intervene? Through all of these politics, it seems like the people of Karnataka are the ones, or the people of Tamil Nadu are the ones who are going to be affected. Let's of course see in the coming days how the situation unfolds. Another Bandh call has been made by pro-Kannada organizations on the 29th, and this is a statewide Bandh. And I'm really short of time, so I'll have to really come to a conclusion. I'll have to come to a conclusion here. 29th, once again, viewers. Okay. So 29th is when the pro-Kannada groups and multiple other organizations, even the film industry, is backing the Bandh, is what we've been told. And the CWMA, of course, once again, the Karnataka government is expected to go back there, seek a review as well. Let's follow the developments very closely. For now, I'm thanking all our panelists on the broadcast for joining us on this show and sharing your points of view.